stories at 6, we get you news that set the agenda. Superstar Saif Ali Khan stabbed. Was it a theft attempt or a larger conspiracy? There is a huge internal rift in the Indian cricket team, and even the BCCI does not deny that. And finally, we'll tell you why the SpaceX docking is a historic feat for ISRO, all that and much more on 6 Stories at 6 with me, Tanisha Awasthi. Superstar Saif Ali Khan stabbed 6 times. Was it a theft attempt or a larger conspiracy? We'll get you that story and a lot more on 6 Stories at 6 with me, Tanisha Awasthi. Welcome. You're watching 6 Stories at 6 with me, Tanisha Awasthi. On this edition, we will get you the 6 stories that set the day's agenda. The 6 stories in a comprehensive manner. Story number 1. Superstar Saif Ali Khan stabbed. Cops say it was a thief that stabbed him, but is there a larger conspiracy at play? Story number 2. There is no end to the internal chaos in the Indian cricket team, and now even the BCCI does not deny that. The other story is from Bangladesh, where after Hindus, it is the Christians, Buddhists and other minorities that are under attack under the Yunus regime. Moving on, we will get you details about the Hindenburg report, which has been shut, and that has become the major talking point in the political arena. Mamata Banerjee, who is the health minister, Chief Minister and the Home Minister of West Bengal, has finally broken silence on the fake medical scam in her state after almost a week. And finally, in the end, ISRO has achieved a historic feat with the SpaceX docking. We'll get you details on that as well. Starting this edition with a story that's coming in from Mumbai, where Bollywood superstar Saif Ali Khan sustained major injury in his spine after a thief attacked him while a knife at his residence in Mumbai, Bandra, in the wee hours today. Now, a 2.5-inch long blade was surgically removed and his leaking spinal fluid was repaired, as confirmed by the doctor from Lilavati Hospital. Even while the police has called it a theft attempt, there are several unanswered questions.
Attacked with a sharp object. Not once, but 6 times. Actor Saif Ali Khan was attacked in wee hours this morning in his Bandra apartment. Stabbed in his spine area, 2 deep wounds on left hand, 1 wound on the neck, 2.5 inches of knife removed from his spine after spinal fluid leaked out.
He sustained major injury to the thoracic spinal cord due to lodged knife in the spine. Surgery was performed to remove the knife and also repair the leaking spinal fluid. 2 other deep wounds on his left hand and 1 on the neck was repaired by plastic surgery team. He is completely stable now. He is recovering well and out of danger.
Sources and police say that it was the actor's house help who spotted an intruder who barged into the house with a burglary intent. While the police say they have found no signs of forced entry into the house, what remains a mystery is whether the man was someone known or if he had access to the home.
अभी तक के इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये एक चोरी का अटेम्प्ट था, ऐसा हमारे इन्वेस्टिगेशन में निष्पन्न हुआ है.
A well-guarded gated society with security and CCTV cameras in place. Yet the intruder barged in. While the attacker has been identified by CCTV, his location traced, there are many unanswered questions. Was the motive just burglary, or is there more than what meets the eye?
All right, now there are several unanswered questions, but let us now tell you the mystery between 1:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. about what happened during those hours. The intruder barges into the house through a fire escape, after which we learn that the scuffle between the house help and the attacker breaks out. What we also know is that the house help raises an alarm, it injures the attacker, and now between this scuffle, that is when the confrontation between the actor and the intruder turns physical. That is when, remember, the actor Saif Ali Khan was stabbed 6 times and escapes from the staircase. So that is the mystery that we know so far that happened between 1:30 to 2 a.m. I'm also being joined by my colleague Meenakshi, who is reporting live from outside Saif Ali Khan's residence. Meenakshi, certainly there are several unanswered questions in this regard, in this case. You are outside Saif Ali Khan's residence. Talk to us about what do you know so far? What are the neighbors saying? What is that could solve the mystery in the case?
See, police is saying that that person had come here, his intent is robbery, but there are so many questions which is unanswered. There are so much of security to enter this building, and neighbors and shopkeepers of this area, they are saying that there are 4 steps to enter in this place. I mean, in this Saif Ali Khan building, there are 4 steps. How someone entered this building? Let me explain you that first one has to come to the main gate and provide their name and purpose. If they are staff, their identity card is scanned before proceeding to the entry gate. The gate does not open manually. It was to be opened using a switch. Only they can one can enter this building. So much of security in this building. How that person entered in this building, and there are several questions here that who allowed that that unidentified person into
Meenakshi.
these premises. Also, there are lots of questions.
Right, Meenakshi. Thank you for sharing all those details. We still see live action happening. We will come back to you as and when there are updates. But for now, we move on. Now, a day after Republic blew the lid off the biggest internal fight dodging Indian cricket, there was no word on whether under fire Virat Kohli would make himself available for Ranji Trophy. Meanwhile, speaking to Republic, the secretary of the BCCI did not deny the rumours of the dressing room. Here's a report on that.
Less than 24 hours after Republic broke the biggest crisis of credibility to hit Indian cricket, underperforming batting ace Virat Kohli kept up the suspense over his availability for domestic cricket. Despite being named in Delhi's provisional list of players for Ranji Trophy, there was no confirmation on whether the former India captain would make himself available for the domestic red ball tournament. Amid the uncertainty around his availability, top sources told Republic that it was highly unlikely that Kohli would play Ranji Trophy. Meanwhile, weighing in on the agenda-setting Republic campaign, BCCI Secretary Devajit Saikia did not deny the rumoured dressing room rift.
Do you think there is a rift, or is it all well within the main team?
These are not my cup of tea. These are certain things for the social media. But so far as BCCI is concerned, we are not bothered about all these issues. We are in our job and in a very strong manner.
In his first response to the biggest controversy to hit Indian cricket, former star India all-rounder Yuvraj Singh batted for domestic cricket.
I think domestic cricket is important because I always felt when you're not, if you have time and if you need practice or you're not performing at the international level, you should definitely come and play domestic cricket.
Amid doubts on Kohli returning to domestic cricket, the director of the Delhi Cricket Board made a cryptic statement saying pressure doesn't guarantee performance. Coming out in support of Indian cricket coach Gautam Gambhir, the DDCA director called him dedicated and hardworking.
if he is not right person, he could not have been the coach of the Indian team. He is very dedicated, hard-working, very sincere player. And when he was like a coach of Kolkata Knight Rider, I heard that he was putting best of his efforts.
Meanwhile, for the second straight day, Coach Gambhir drove off tight-lipped when confronted by Republic.
Sarfaraz Khan is making all the leaks, that is what you have said. What do you have to say about that, Gambhir? What about Monty Morkel, the fight with him? This is day 2. As you saw, we again tried to speak to Gautam Gambhir. He was sitting in the back seat. He denied to speak with us. We posed 2 questions in front of Gautam Gambhir about is Sarfaraz Khan making all the leaks inside the dressing room that is taking place. And the second question was about his confrontation with Monty Morkel in Australia. These are the 2 reports that are doing the rounds. And as you saw, Gambhir, the cards just zoomed away. They zoomed away. He has not answered. This is the second day. We are camping outside his house. He has not answered. I hope that he answers soon.
As Indian cricket struggles for credibility, the big question is, will the superstars fall in line?
All right, I'm being joined by Rajesh Chauhan. He's a former Indian cricketer. Rajesh जी, रिपब्लिक से बात करने का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. एक डायरेक्ट सवाल आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी, क्या विराट कोहली इस बार रणजी ट्रॉफी खेलेंगे?
नहीं, ये विराट खेलेंगे, ये विराट कैसे डिसाइड करें? ये तो डीडीसीए को डिसाइड करना है या फिर बोर्ड को डिसाइड करना है. विराट के ऊपर क्या है? विराट को खेलना है नहीं खेलना है, वो ये चीजें एक्चुअली देखिए एक प्लेयर से नहीं होता है, पूरी टीम का रहता है, पूरे प्लेयर्स हैं, कोई अकेले नहीं है. वो तो सारे चीजें हैं, वो रूल्स बनता है बोर्ड में. हम क्या है, अभी हम सीरीज हार गए हैं करके हम ये सब चीजें ला रहे हैं सामने, ये अच्छी बात नहीं है. ये हमारे किसी के लिए भी अच्छी बात है. ये चीजें पहले से डिसाइड होनी चाहिए कि भाई हमारे प्लेयर हैं, उनको खेलना है नहीं खेलना है. 2015-16 के बाद से रणजी ट्रॉफी कोई नहीं खेल रहा. मतलब ये कहीं ना कहीं तो अब हमारी जो क्रिकेट है कहाँ जा रही है, क्या सोच रहे हैं. हमको खेलना है, हमको टेस्ट क्रिकेट भी खेलनी है कि नहीं खेलनी है, सारी चीजें पहले से डिसाइड होना चाहिए. और ये बोर्ड का काम है, ये इवेंट स्टेट का भी नहीं है और इंडिविजुअल प्लेयर का भी काम.
जी चौहान जी, आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया रिपब्लिक से बात करने के लिए. द क्वेश्चन स्टिल रिमेन्स, व्हाट इज द future of the Indian cricket team, keeping in mind the internal chaos? For now, we move on and shift our focus to what's happening in Bangladesh. The situation in Bangladesh is worrisome. The Yunus regime is up in arms, not just against the Hindus, but also against other minorities, including Buddhists, Christians, and even tribal people of the country. Take a look at this report to know the horrific turn of events.
Bangladesh continues to remain on the edge. The Yunus regime's crimes against minorities do not seem to be ending. Along with Hindus, now the Christians, Buddhists, and even tribal people are being brutally attacked in the country. Visuals from the aftermath of attacks show people, including women, smeared in blood after sustaining grave injuries. While the number of injured remains unknown, as per reports, many of them are fighting for their lives in the hospital. This comes days after the Bangladeshi interim government for the first time accepted that minorities in the country were under attack. The Bangladesh government then said at least 65 offenders were arrested in cases earlier.
Joining me on this broadcast is Radha Raman. He is the Vice President of ISKCON Kolkata. Radha Raman, thank you for speaking to Republic. First, it was the Hindus that were under attack under the Yunus regime. Now it is other minorities, the Christians, the Buddhists. What do you have to say on that?
What is happening in Bangladesh is so unfortunate. This is a black spot in modern history. And Hindus were under fire. But what we saw yesterday, that student belonging to minorities, Buddhist, Christian, and tribal student, they were holding a rally demanding that the chapter which was removed from their textbook should be reinstated. And we saw that the other Muslim student of Dhaka University, they attacked and they brutally injured many students belonging to Christian, Buddhist community. Also, one girl in Chittagong, a tribal girl in Chittagong, was murdered yesterday. This has all happened yesterday. So this is very shocking that what is happening in Bangladesh, but the silence of the organizations like United Nations Human Rights is very disturbing. And for last 5-6 months, the minorities in Bangladesh are on back foot. But the silence of the world is very shocking.
Right, Radharaman Das ji, thank you very much for speaking to Republic. We move on to the other stories that we are tracking now. The shutters are down for the United States short seller Hindenburg Research as they announced their closing down of the firm today. Significantly, now this development comes on a day when it is Joe Biden which has given his farewell speech, and at a day when Trump, just before when Trump is about to take charge. Here's a report on that which has made political headlines in India.
US short seller Hindenburg Research announced the closing down of the firm today. Sharing the news, Hindenburg founder Nathan Anderson said that there was no specific reason for the firm winding up operations. However, the timing of the announcement did raise eyebrows as it came on a day outgoing US President Joe Biden bid farewell to the Oval Office. Meanwhile, the BJP came out all guns blazing at the Congress, which repeatedly flagged reports by the US short seller to target billionaire investor Gautam Adani. The BJP said the reports by the US short seller were part of a larger conspiracy to destabilize the Indian economy.
This Hindenburg report, even though it lacked complete credibility, there was an Indian alliance partner of Hindenburg, the Congress party and its ecosystem, that lapped up Hindenburg report as if it was a gospel straight from God.
Senior Supreme Court advocate Mahesh Jethmalani said the idea was not just short selling but profit was also causing damage.
Either he has already been sounded out, right, by investigating authorities in the US, or he fears that he will be investigated for his role in the entire attempt to shake India's stock market and economy through the bare hammering of Adani shares.
Meanwhile, the Adani Group's stocks rallied and surged 9% as Hindenburg shut shop.
Mamata Banerjee, who is the Health Minister, the Chief Minister and the Home Minister of West Bengal, has finally broken silence on the fake medical scam in her state after almost a week. Now, hours after Calcutta High Court pulled up Mamata Banerjee's government for taking and not taking proactive steps to suspend the culprits and who spread the contaminated IV fluids in the state-run healthcare facilities, Bengal's Chief Minister has suspended 12 doctors. The action is too little and too late. Here's what she said.
আমরা মনে করি মানুষের জবাবদিহি করার অধিকার আছে। আমি চিকিৎসকদের প্রতি সহানুভূতিশীল। আমি সবটাই মানবিকভাবে দেখি। কিন্তু যেখানে অন্যায় হয় তাতে আমাকে শত সমালোচনা করলেও আমার কোনো যায় আসে না। মানুষের দিকটা দেখাও আমাদের কর্তব্য, দুটো দিকই দেখার। এবং তাই দুটো ইনভেস্টিগেশন রিপোর্ট যখন চিফ সেক্রেটারি এবং হেলথ সেক্রেটারি আমার কাছে সাবমিট করেছেন এবং তারপরে তারা সাজেশন দিয়েছেন, সব সাজেশন মেনে নিয়ে যেটা করা হয়েছে এই 12 জনকে সাসপেন্ড করে দেওয়া হলো।
Now, in another gigantic leap for ISRO, they have successfully done the SPEDAX docking of the two satellites, hitting the bullseye with the maiden space docking mission. Now, with the landmark feat, India became only the fourth country after the United States, Russia and China to demonstrate space docking. Here's a report on that. Take a look.
2, 1, 0.
Putting India in an elite club of nations yet again. The ISRO announced the landmark docking of its two SpaceX satellites in space. A post on ISRO's official X handle announced the historic moment. Sharing more details of the landmark accomplishment, the ISRO said that the docking experiment was initiated with precision and the retraction of satellites was completely successful. With the successful placing of the SpaceX satellites, India became only the fourth country after the United States, Russia and China to demonstrate space docking capability. The ISRO earlier put out a post saying that it would study and analyze data before attempting the landmark space docking. Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the tributes to India's space scientists after the historic docking experiment success. In a post on his X handle, Prime Minister Modi said that the landmark maiden space docking mission marks a stepping stone for future spacefaring feats. Effusive in his praise for the Indian Space Research Organization, Union Minister of Science and Technology Jitendra Singh hailed the successful demonstration of the Bharatiya docking system.
I think this is going to be very, very relevant for our crewed human space mission, for our Chandrayaan 4, for Bharatiya Antariksh Station, and also for the human mission to land on the surface of Moon.
As ISRO reaches another major milestone, the focus now shifts to Chandrayaan 4 and India's first manned space mission, Gaganyaan.
All right, that's all that we could pack in this bulletin for you. Tomorrow we'll be back same day, same time with another set of agenda story setting. Stay tuned for all the live action.
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
Silly superstar culture is the biggest disease, the biggest affliction of the Indian cricket team. The underperformance